Hi hearties, welcome back to Teacup Trail. We are on episode 5 of season 9. I just want to give a quick shout out to Hallmark Channel. I don't think they will see it, but thank you for accepting all my disputes on season 9 reviews. Being a YouTube creator is complicated at times, so now all my season 9 reviews up to this point are now public to all countries around the world, so hopefully more hearties join in on the season 9 fun. We have a lot to talk about in episode 5. There will be 2 parts review for this episode. The first one up right now and the second part will be up live tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. Let's get started.
Good glorious day, you two. Hello.
Oh, Aunt Rosemary.
This is not entirely related to Lucas, Elizabeth, or Nathan, but I just wanted to pull it up because I was shocked to hear that on Sunday night. I was like, did he just say Aunt Rosemary? And I'm just like, be still my heart.
Mrs. Thornton! Mrs. Thornton! Allie! Oh my goodness!
Welcome home, young lady.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back. Jack, you've gotten big. Someday you'll be big enough to ride a horse. All by yourself.
Allie thinks that I should have let her ride back from Rock Creek alone.
Oh, well, that is a long way. I don't know whether or not I'd want to ride all that way alone myself.
I'm sure your uncle wanted to come get you so he could spend more time with you.
We've had lots of time together. We hardly went faster than a trot.
Well, after a trip that long, why don't you two go get some ice cream?
I heard about the new soda fountain, and I cannot wait to go.
What do you say we head there now?
Sounds good to me. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Little Jack once again said goodbye to Allie. It's so great to have Allie back on the show in season 9. I was wondering when will she ever come back. It's really nice to see Allie away from Hope Valley because we get to see Nathan being more independent of himself, and that brought him to be out of his comfort zone and talk more to other people in town, and he got to meet a new woman, a new neighbor in town, May. I was also thinking of the time frame of the show within the world of Hope Valley. In the beginning of season 9, we learned that Elizabeth went away to Hamilton with little Jack for a month. I assumed Allie went away to her grandparents for at least a week. It sounded like a really long travel on horseback, so maybe a month and a half, 2 months tops since the beginning of season 9. I was a bit surprised of how nice and friendly Allie was towards Elizabeth because of what happened at the end of season 8 with the love triangle mess. It's really nice to see Allie in a better place mentally, and of course Nathan. They easily moved on from the drama with Elizabeth and Lucas and the whole love triangle stuff. But it's nice to see that everything is back to normal for Allie, Nathan, and Elizabeth, that three-way relationship.
She's got to be quite the little rider.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for letting me ride Sergeant. I'll put him away for you.
Enjoy your ice cream.
Rosemary? Jack?
Nathan borrowed a sergeant from Elizabeth, and I thought that was very nice of Elizabeth to lend her horse to Nathan. That horse sergeant holds a special meaning for the Thornton family.
Allie, why don't you just head in with Cooper?
Okay.
Hey. What do you think that's all about?
They do seem thick as thieves. Why don't you go in and be with Allie? I'll keep an eye on things out here.
Once Nathan got back into Hope Valley, it's like his mounty brain just switched on automatically. He saw Lucas and Walden talking, And to me, this is a little bit surprise to me because of what happened in the last episode. Lucas warned Walden, like, don't come near Elizabeth and little Jack. Like, I know you hit me in the eye, like, whether it was you or you hired someone to hit me in the eye. So this is, like, upside down right now. Like, what is Lucas doing? And that's probably my next Teacup question. I'm gonna think about it. But yeah, to me, I was just like, what's Lucas doing? I hope it's not bad. I hope he finding a common ground between Walden and Hope Valley. Hopefully just not too serious or a bad situation that Lucas would get himself into. Nathan, he is the protector of Hope Valley, and of course, like, as a Mountie, like, you want to make sure everything is good and everyone is safe. And I just realized though, like, Bill has like so many jobs. I don't know how, but I just like realized it just now. I just like had like a random thought, like, Bill is like everywhere in Hope Valley.
Something like this will definitely hold your hair back when you ride.
There's just so many choices.
I see you two have met.
Your niece was telling me about your trip back from her grandparents.
Oh? Did she tell you how slow we rode?
I didn't say a word. But we did ride awfully slow.
Well, maybe you and I can go riding sometime and race like the wind.
Of course, Allie meets May right off the bat. It seemed like a nice conversation, which is a good sign, because if Nathan do end up with a woman and marry her, I feel like Allie is like a test, like a trial, that whoever Nathan's wife will be, like, she need to pass Allie test, because Allie is so important to Nathan, and Allie knows her dad, Nathan. Like, she knows what he like and what he doesn't like, and she can see it, she can understand. She is at that age where she is understanding a little bit more about love and relationship, but not just there yet 100%, but she is understanding a little bit more about those stuff in life. So it's nice to see that Allie and May are getting along, and I'm pretty sure that makes Nathan happy, because whoever Nathan ends up with needs to get along with Allie. They will become a family, you know, if Nathan do go down that road with May or any other woman that he comes to find.
Oh my gosh. She is so beautiful.
Think so?
Uh-huh.
Haven't noticed.
You're just like someone else I know.
The man, he is working.
I suppose.
Allie approved May. She complimented her beauty, and I'm pretty sure Nathan already knew that May is a beautiful woman and pretended to not know that and pretended to shrug off and like, oh, cool. Like, if you think she's cool, like, I'm cool with that. But, you know, trying to act cool. Nathan, you cannot deny it. You cannot hide it. Like, it's obvious there's something going on between you and May. And there's also funny in a way, I totally forgot to talk about this, like, May noticed that there's something going on between Allie and Robert, but I also thought May could be like a really good mentor for Allie when it comes to teenage love, like girl stuff, you know, talking about crushes and boys in general, you know, those girl talks that Allie can have with May. I think that would be fun to see. So if May do get along with Allie and Nathan, like, it's just like another female mentor for Allie to look up to. And we get to see that a little bit later in this episode. But it's really funny though, like May like looking at Allie and then Robert like, okay, good to know. And just like the timing of it, just like, I just met you, Allie, but nice to know that you like Robert. I forgot to talk about this moment of Lucas weirdly waving to Nathan. What do you guys think? I was thinking about season 6 when Nathan did not trust Lucas at all, and when they didn't really like each other, and now Nathan just like being very suspicious of what Lucas is up to. Like, you can't blame Nathan. One, him being a Mountie, and second, like, you know, the history of Lucas and what happened in the past, and now this new bad guy in town, Walden, like, what is going on and why are you talking to him? So Nathan is being very suspicious, and Lucas, you blame him. He's like, why are you spying on me? Like, you don't trust me. I guess it goes both ways, but I was just thinking about season 6 when they just hated each other. Especially Nathan, more on Nathan's side, where he just didn't trust Lucas at all.
Good morning.
Yeah, it was. Till I broke down.
What are you doing with Lee's motorcycle?
Trying to blow off some steam. Please excuse the way I look.
Oh, no, I like it.
Oh.
You look very rugged.
Oh, I don't normally?
Be quiet and give me a kiss.
Mr. Bouchard,
Robert!
I have your mail.
Excellent. Would you mind dropping it off at the Queen of Hearts for me?
Not at all. Mrs. Thornton, I have your mail here too.
Great, just at the house is fine. Laura's there with little Jack.
Yes, ma'am. Well, so long.
Robert is getting some romance in front of his eyes. So funny. I was just thinking though, like, Lucas, when he dresses casual, I'm just like, you look really hot. Just like with his shirt and suspenders, like, I feel like it's my favorite Lucas look. Yeah, I'm gonna admit that. He looked great. Elizabeth knew it too. She's like, you look fine just like that. And she told him to shut up and asked him to kiss her. And I'm just like, woo, the sparks are like getting higher and higher for Lucas and Elizabeth.
Oops.
So, what has you wanting to let off steam?
Jerome Smith. But I keep telling myself that selling the oil business is not a bad problem to have.
Have you thought about what you'll do if the sale goes through?
Spend more time with you.
I don't know that that's always a good idea.
Really?
Well, between us, now that they're working together, Rosemary is worried that Lee is tiring.
What?
I know, it's absurd. And again, I might have said the same thing about you borrowing Lee's motorcycle.
Oh, I didn't borrow it. But... Come on!
Really cute that they still get shy when someone catches them doing PDA. Like in this scene with Robert, you can see Lucas rubbing off his chin after Robert left. It's really cute. It's nice that Lucas told Elizabeth. He answered her question when she asked him, you know, why you on a motorcycle, like what is bothering you, and Lucas told her. And it really funny also when Elizabeth mentioned about Rosemary and Lee spending too much time together, and Lucas like, okay, like what's wrong with that? I think Elizabeth still have a little worry about Lucas letting go of the oil business. She understands his reason to spend more time for Lucas with Elizabeth and little Jack, but on the other hand, she's like, he doesn't want his life to change upside down just because of her and little Jack. She still wants him to have that independence, his personal job and his personal life separate from his relationship with Elizabeth. She just doesn't want to be the reason why he is quitting the oil business. At the end, Lucas admitted that he bought the motorcycle from Lee, and Elizabeth was shocked, and she's just like, you just did that? Like, he didn't tell her his plan in buying the motorcycle. And I also thought, like, how adventurous he is. That's, like, a little bit out of the ordinary, I guess. He's, like, splurged on that motorcycle, but that's who he is. When he wants to do something exciting, he does it. He goes on an adventure, and I think this is still like a bit new to Elizabeth. You can see the look on her face at the end. She's just like, you just bought a motorcycle from me just like that. Motorcycle can be adventurous and a little bit dangerous too. So I wouldn't be surprised if Elizabeth is like a bit skeptical of her boyfriend owning a motorcycle.
We rode the entire way back from Rock Creek. You didn't even say one word about you and Newton being hit by a car.
I didn't want you to worry.
I'm old enough to worry. I'm old enough for a lot of things that I just think you don't want to admit.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize for not taking your feelings into consideration.
Thank you.
This scene became really special in the second half of this scene. But first, I want to talk about the first half of this scene. Allie is growing up, and Nathan being the official parent now to her, he's still learning, navigating through those teenage years that Allie is going through right now. And it's really nice of a storyline to see that in the show, and to see Nathan character development continue to increase, because he is seeing some changes for his daughter Allie, in that she is growing up, in that she is becoming an adult very soon. Time does fly. Like Elizabeth mentioned in the beginning of the episode, like little Jack is growing up so quickly, and time does fly, and Nathan is going through that same thing too, but in the teenage years.
And would you maybe consider shaving?
You don't like my mustache?
It hides your smile.
Allie is very straightforward. She basically told Nathan to shave off his mustache, and I'm glad she did. I'm not really a big fan of the mustache. I don't know, it's just not clicking with me. I know I'm not the only one who thinks of this, but let me know what you think of his mustache. I think it's just gotta go. My preference in men is no beard, no mustache. It's just not me, and no tattoos. I know, I have high standards, but anyway, I prefer Lucas' beard over Nathan's mustache. I don't know, it's just like shave off Nathan. Lucas wears his beard really nicely. Like, it suits him, and I guess it suits his character. It suits really nice on personality in real life too. But Nathan's mustache, like, it gotta go. So I agree with Allie on that.
Did you miss school?
A lot. And my friends. And Robert, especially.
I see.
It's not like I didn't have anything to do at Grandma and Grandpa's. I just kept thinking about him.
Yeah. Well, you and Robert, always been good friends.
And she talked about Robert. You can see Nathan is still struggling in parenting Allie when it comes to love and relationship. He's still navigating through those waters. And it's nice Nathan have Elizabeth, Faith possibly, and May too, if he ever needs advice.
I know I've said I like him, even like him, but I think it might be more than that now.
Well, maybe. You could just continue to like each other as friends. You know, just for a little while.
It's really nice when Nathan did give to Allie as an advice near the end of this scene. Continue to like each other as friends. And I thought that's like the best way to go, because Allie just came back. Like she said, Robert didn't like give much attention to her since she arrived back home. She's still like figuring it out in her head, like, you know, is it worth it to like the guy? Like, is it worth it to fall in love with him? Like, where am I at? Like, where am I going with this Robert guy? So good on Nathan on telling her to stay as friends and continue to like each other as friends, because you don't want to put the stress and the pressure on, you know, whether you should deepen your crush on this certain guy. Like, you don't want to get hurt as well. I think it's a very challenging question, you know, like, should I like this guy or not, or should we just stay as friends? Teenage years, I went through my teenage years, it's complicated when it comes to those things, but it's really nice Nathan offered her that advice.
Maybe. I don't know, Dad. He hardly even said hello when I got back. What?
I thought that you just called me.
Dad? Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, that's way better than okay.
And Allie called Nathan dad, and we heard that for the first time, you know, on the show in this episode, and I was touched by it, and Nathan was so happy, and it was just a very touching moment between Allie and Nathan.
I hear Fiona's due back any minute. Should I summon Constable Grant?
Go ahead. By the time he gets here, he won't even recognize me. What do you think?
You haven't always had a mustache?
No. I grew it over the winter, but it was time for a change.
Do you see that quick moment that May had before she stepped inside the hair salon? She just like looking at Nathan, but she knew who it was before Nathan turned around. You know, that moment of just like checking him out. Nathan shaved his mustache off. Woo, so happy. Like, it looked much better. And Allie was right. Like, it hit his smile. So now we get to see more of his smile. He looked great. And May was very nice to compliment Allie, and it's a confirmation that they do get along, and I'm curious to where that relationship go between Allie and May.
Besides, Allie didn't seem to like it.
I haven't had the chance to say I think your niece is just lovely.
Thanks. You know, you wouldn't know this, but Allie is becoming more and more like her mother every day. My sister. Strong-willed, opinionated.
I wouldn't worry about Allie.
It's me I'm worried about. Having my hands full as she gets older.
How long has Allie been with you?
Well, Colleen died when Allie was 4.
May and Nathan got to talk more about some really personal stuff on Nathan's side. Nathan opened up about Allie's parents, and Nathan was happy to talk about his sister Colleen. I think that's the first time I heard her name. Let me know if I'm wrong, but he talked about his sister, and he talked about her like without struggle. Like, he fully said that out loud to May.
Does she remember her mother?
A little. But she's curious, so she wants to talk about her all the time.
What about her father?
I never want to talk about him.
Your new hat.
And it fits. After you.
And part of him, like, he proud that Allie is like his sister, because, you know, that's his sister, and he doesn't want Allie to be like her dad, and we know what happened to her dad. Like, he just wasn't present in the family picture. Like, he was just like out of the picture, out of the family picture. He was never around, and he got in trouble and just wasn't the best dad for Allie. So May is getting to know more about Nathan's family history. And I thought it was very personal of Nathan to talk about those things about his family to May, just like that, in the hair salon. But no one was around, but it's just like a random opportunity moment of Nathan telling May those things. He trusts her, and he trusts that she will respect that he told her those stuff and that she would keep them to herself. May shook her head in agreement after Nathan told her that he doesn't want to talk about Allie's father. It's like there was an understanding, and I'm just wondering if that understanding comes from her situation, her situation with her husband, and why she went to Hope Valley, and she hasn't told Nathan yet about that. So I can see that on the look on her face, like, I understand, like, you don't want to talk about that. And for herself, she doesn't want to talk about her husband because it might be a really bad situation that she is in right now. It's like a lot of things going on with May, personally, and having Nathan open up to her like that, it's just like a really good feeling because he trusts her and he opened up to her easily. And she really liking Nathan as a friend, and vice versa, Nathan is liking her as a friend. Alrighty, I will see you tomorrow with part 2 of episode 5. As usual, comment down below. If you're new, please comment your thoughts and your question, your prediction, anything in the comment section below. I would love to talk to you, and can't believe we almost halfway to season 9. Like, this Sunday coming up will be episode 6. Crazy. I will see you tomorrow with part 2 of episode 5. See ya. Bye.